Hello, 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 hello.
Hey, everybody. Hey, y'all.
Welcome to the Lunch Break Podcast.
It's another one of those.
What do you mean, one of those?
It's another one of those podcast episodes. Number 24.
Number
I
24.
remember because last one was 23, so 23 followed by 24.
Beep, boop. You never watched 24.
No.
Maybe if someone watched 24, what I just did would make sense. I hope it does.
I watched like one episode and I didn't get into it.
Oh,
Sorry.
It was good.
I hear it was very good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was better when I was in college than when I went back to watch it again. It just, a show like that would have been better. I get it's got to be 24 episodes.
Right.
That's the thing. It just would have been better if it wasn't 24 episodes. Like if
Think
it was
it should be less or more?
less.
Oh, less. Okay.
Less. Like
24 is
solid,
too many.
like a solid AMC type 16 episode show.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you get 24, that's a lot of
It's
episodes.
too many.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, in versus British TV, which I watch a lot of now, they don't call them seasons, they call them series.
Yes. Okay.
So the series are typically, I think, 8 episodes, but they're longer. So you're looking at an hour, sometimes an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Depending on the series, on what the show is.
Which can be nice, except like it made it tough. Like Sherlock.
Oh yeah.
It was a good show, but it's like watching a movie.
Yeah, each time was like watching
every
a movie.
episode.
Yeah, that's how it is with Vera. We're watching this show called Vera right now, and she's not a private investigator. She's a investigator, police detective, and those are not just an hour; they're an hour and a half.
Oof.
So they are long. So a lot of times we will watch half of it because we fall asleep through the middle of it, and then Brianna and I will watch the rest of it.
I mean,
next
what else
day.
are you gonna
But
do?
Anyway, I don't know why how did we get into that?
Because I made the obnoxious 24 sound
Right
into the microphone.
Well, we're back to being experts at nothing with opinions about everything.
That's right. That's the new tagline.
I think it's a good one, right?
I think it's good.
It summarizes exactly who we are. We are
We
very opinionated people, but we don't claim to be experts on anything.
Nothing. In fact, our listeners remind us how we are not experts.
Yeah, that's true.
They find fault in all that we do.
Yeah,
They found some fault in you last time.
they did. They didn't like my stance. I didn't realize I was going to be chewed up.
Yeah. All right. This is a good
Should
segue.
spit out. Huh?
You got a
Pardon the pun.
message sent from a listener.
Okay.
My
He
my
looks
brother,
familiar.
my brother, been on the show. He was on the Thanksgiving food episode. He sent this message over
I'd
for
like
you.
to hear it. Let's see.
How do we live in a world where someone could say something as terrible about something as sacred as Swedish fish like Chris did? It doesn't make sense to me. Help me make it make sense, okay? Because it's just one of the worst opinions that I've ever heard in my entire life. Fake news. Fake news. Swedish fish are fantastic. They're a staple of every childhood. And the fact that you don't have that makes me wonder if perhaps your childhood wasn't just sad, but disappointing. Ooh. I just can't believe it. I had the misfortune of shaking your hand at my niece's, my favorite niece's, birthday party. I need to scrub that hand. I need to wash that hand with bleach because I feel tainted now. Thank you, Chris.
So that's just one piece of feedback.
Yeah,
there was the survey I
hostility.
did. I don't have it pulled up on account of my phone's recording the podcast, but
Right.
Survey-wise, you got demolished.
Yeah, I did. It wasn't even a competition. It was like 93 to 7%, or maybe even less.
2 minutes after we got done recording the show, we
Yeah.
had someone stop by the church here who took my stance wholeheartedly.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
And even said he didn't eat Swedish fish or
because it
or
was
anything
bad for your teeth.
because of the teeth thing.
And that's exactly what you said.
That's what I said. I called
You're
it.
right.
I'm a prophet.
You're correct.
And then we got some good Facebook feedback. I asked people what their favorite chewy candies were. So
Okay. Okay.
I tagged Paul Parker in it.
Okay. Good.
Did not respond to me.
Oh really?
I don't know. I thought he'd have some solid picks. People did. I was nice. People did not like that I was nice to you. People felt Milk Dud should not have been. And
Not because
I
it
do
wasn't good, or because it didn't fit
because
the
it just
qualifications.
didn't fit the category.
The category. Okay.
And my wife and I were talking about this too. There is a category for a Milk Dud. It might be with a Rolo or a Raisin or something of
Yeah.
that. The chocolate caramel combo. I
makes
can see
sense.
it, but I wasn't gonna I wasn't gonna derail the show with it.
Right.
What would we do? Just Chris doesn't have a number 3? No, that's his number 3.
We made it. You made it work.
It was fine. It was fine. We changed it to Chewy. We stopped Gummy. Went with Chewy.
I had to say one thing though. Can you imagine if we both had the same? If we both said that we didn't like Swedish Fish, we probably would have been canceled. Our show would have been canceled.
Well, we would have never talked about it on the air.
Oh, you think we just would have?
I don't think because there was no debate. So if we both just hated Swedish Fish, how sad would we be if we had a whole episode about just how much we dislike something?
I don't think it would have been a whole episode's worth. I think it might have been. It would have come up in conversation as we were talking about candy, maybe, and if we both landed that plane the same way. But it's a good thing we didn't, because I think that hostility would have been toward both of us, and we would. Yeah, people probably would stop listening.
I had some weigh in from my brother-in-law Dan.
Okay, yes, I spoke with Dan as well.
Peach Ring is his number 1. Oh wait, no. Peach Ring was his number 3.
Okay.
Twizzler Licorice number 2. Swedish Fish number 1.
Okay.
Close finish with Gummy Bears and Sour Patch Kids, of course. Friend Matt said that there's a distinctive gummy bear hierarchy, and that Albanese gummy bears are the clear king. Never had them.
I don't think I could say I've had those either.
So he said they're at Walmart.
They're not what's the other one called? Haribo?
Haribo. That's what I had.
That's one I've typically
Also,
had.
man, for maybe a different episode or just outside the podcast, look up reviews for Haribo sugar-free gummy bears.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
one of the
about.
funniest things I've ever read in my life. Starbursts, Colleen, Starbursts.
Okay, Starburst is good candy.
They're very good.
Oh, absolutely.
They're within the top 5.
Their jelly beans are
the
phenomenal.
Starburst. That's the only jelly bean I like.
Yeah,
is
that's very
Starburst.
good.
They are good. John said High Chews. Never heard of them, but I heard they're good. Apparently, they are from Japan.
I forgot all about them.
High Chews. Skittles. Taste the Rainbow.
Yep, Skittles are good.
I
think
think
top 3.
feel as though I outgrew Skittles.
Yeah.
I just stopped liking
We have
them.
a whole conversation on what I had this conversation actually with Greg during our last meeting last week on Wednesday about Skittles, how they changed the green flavoring, and they without. I mean, maybe they advertised it, but I don't remember the advertising. But I remember there being a lime green, and all of a sudden it turned into the apple,
right?
Sour apple.
Well, I mean, you've seen
flavor.
Skittles
And it
advertising.
just took over.
They could have said something. Skittles commercials are so dumb.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what they're advertising sometimes.
True.
Right? Did they have someone poop in a rainbow one time?
Yep.
Something.
Yep. Or the one,
Taste the
the one.
rainbow.
Did you see the one with a kid that broke out? It looked like he had pimples, but instead of pimples, they were Skittles.
No.
And the girl started
maybe.
pulling 'em off his face
Yeah,
and
I
eating
think I
them.
did.
Yeah, it's
See,
ridiculous.
so that's
really.
the
But
advertising
anyway.
you get from Skittles. Then our friend Nick, who's been on the show a couple times.
Yes.
Nick D'Angelo, he weighed in.
I can only imagine what did he have to say.
I mean, everything he says, I read it and I still find it funny. It's just something he delivers with his voice and his typing.
Yep.
3 was
I gotta hear
Starburst,
this.
which I think Starburst is an acceptable 3 if you're into that kind of thing. He wrote Sour Patch Kids and then in parentheses, stop it with the watermelons. I could hear him say that.
That's so funny.
And then Peach Ring's number 1.
Number 1. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He did a live play-by-play as he was listening. The sound of us chewing, horrendous. He liked that I used the word gavone. That's the Italian.
Yep.
He called Good and Plenty's death pellets.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They are bad.
They're very bad.
Pepsi-Cola?
Yeah, we talked about that, about people pronouncing.
No, I was just, I didn't want to say Pepsi-Cola question mark
Pepsi-Cola?
because I hate when people do that.
Oh, yeah.
So he wrote
just
Pepsi-Cola?
Yeah.
Like
With
what?
eyes. Like, that's weird.
Basically, he's saying,
Wow, I love this
no,
play-by-play.
he hasn't heard anyone say Pepsi-Cola. It sounds weird.
Yeah.
That's what I took it as.
Okay.
Dr. Brown's cream soda.
Okay, I've heard of Dr. Brown's, and I haven't had their cream soda, though.
My friend Annie made fun of my tendency to slurp. All this eating on the podcast, not a single slurp. So we got some
It's a good feedback.
good feedback on the chewy candies.
I gotta say that
It's riddled with
with
controversy.
all that, I still stick with my perspective and opinion, which is okay.
We're not. Are we here to change each other's minds or just make fun of each other's choices?
That's exactly what.
That's
we're
all
doing
we
here.
do.
Yeah, absolutely. What are we gonna make fun of today?
Ourselves.
This is gonna be some
Ourselves.
self-deprecating humor today.
Yeah. We're only doing this episode because we both laugh at these situations. So It's not me being mean to Chris or Chris being mean to me, which, be honest, Chris is never mean to me. I come across as mean to him. But it's not that, and it's never that, really. We always laugh. We enjoy having these conversations where we, I guess, pretend to jump down each other's throats.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't really care.
No.
So
laugh and move on.
With this episode, the subject matter for today is basically our own personal stories of public embarrassment.
Yeah.
Very public embarrassment.
Well, when you are leading a church or involved in a church and you're a worship leader, or you're executive pastor, and I happen to do announcements from week to week and also preach from time to time. We also both preach from time to time. You're going to open yourself up to a lot of foibles. Is that what,
foibles?
Is that the
I
word
love
that
the
we
word
use?
foible.
Yeah, foibles. I wanted to get that word in there. So the more you talk, the more opportunity there is for a foible to present itself and manifest itself. So
do we want to start with the most
latest?
recent foible that you had
which happens to be me.
2 Sundays ago?
Yes.
Okay.
There's probably one every Sunday, but this is the one that
All right. So
takes the center stage.
We'll set the stage a little bit. There's 2 clips. We'll play one, take a pause, and then we'll get to the better of the 2.
Okay.
Chris, as he said, was doing announcements on Sunday, which for those of you who have never just done a public announcement of things, I can testify it is the worst.
It's terrible.
You're just taking facts which can easily just be found on a bulletin or literally on our scrolling announcements beforehand. Like just facts that are written and easily accessible. And you're trying to tell people about them without literally just reading what's in front of their face.
Right.
And there's something in your mind that just makes it hard.
Yeah, it's just not easy. It's not as easy as people think it might be. Like, I could get up there. I could do that.
You could if you wanted to be a robot.
Yeah, and just
read.
That's true.
You could do it. Then everybody hates you.
Right. Then everybody just tunes out.
Or you can get up there with some good nervous energy that never goes away. And try to make announcements interesting.
Exciting and interesting.
I did announcements, I don't know, like 3 weeks in a row, and then it was just never asked to do it again. Because I think I said one time, this is not a public foible, but I think there was a women's breakfast coming up, and I said, I'll go to that. I'll pretend to be a woman. Something dumb like that.
Right.
It's kind of like, all right. This guy, put him behind a mic with predetermined lyrics and a guitar.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this couple Sundays ago, Chris was really he was having a Monday on a Sunday.
It's true.
We'll say that.
That's a good way of putting it. I like that.
So the first foible we have is just we'll call this the double introduction. The double introduction.
Well, good morning, King's Chapel. It's good to see everybody here this morning. My name is Chris. If it's your first time with us, let me introduce myself. I'm Chris, one of the pastor elders here.
But
I'm Chris. Let me introduce myself.
I'm
Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. Allow me to reiterate that for you, Pastor Chris.
That's true.
Know your role, Pastor Chris.
Oh my goodness.
And it just rolled off like if you weren't listening. Like I don't think I caught that live.
Oh, yeah,
it was when
probably
we
not.
went back to listen to the next one. That I'm like, you just did a double intro.
Oh, you try to gloss it over
Which,
and
again,
make it okay. And
Been there, done that. Literally this Sunday, I said something and then just stopped and said, "John, just start the song because there's no coming back from that." But let's get. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's get
right
to
to
the good announcement.
this is it.
This is the moment during announcements where Chris's brain just stopped working.
You'll see it. Yeah, listen to this.
Okay.
You got to hear it.
King's Kids having a game night this Wednesday during their normal K through 5th grade is our King's Kids K through 5th grade is the I'm getting confused. The age group for kids. Okay, thank you. Thanks.
King's Kids is
It's the
I'm getting confused here.
if there's a video of it, and on the video his like right eye like twitches shut. He's K to 5th grade.
Well, what you didn't hear that was that Ricky saved me. He chimed in. He was standing behind me during announcements, and he just says, "Age group
The age group is K to fifth grade.
Is the age group. I said thank you. I said thanks, youth pastor, for bailing me out of that one.
It's just funny how it's like you even narrated for everyone. I'm getting confused.
King's Kids having a game night this Wednesday during their normal K through fifth grade. Is our King's Kids K through fifth grade is the. I'm getting confused. Age group for kids. Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Oh, that's it's just the way it happened is funny.
There's no recovery from that either.
It hasn't gotten old to me. Just where it's like K to fifth grade is our King's Kids, which I thought like you could just move forward, and then you just circle back. K to fifth grade. This may not be funny to anybody else, but to us is so funny.
But the thing is, when that happens to you and you're having to keep going through the rest of the announcements, I think I was maybe halfway through at that point. You're thinking, oh man, is another one coming? Is there another hurdle coming? I'm gonna have to jump over that I'm not gonna be able to recover from, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
You had like another 4 announcements after that to get through.
Yeah,
let's just.
King's Kids having a game night this Wednesday during their normal K through fifth grade. Is our King's Kids K through fifth grade is
today, Junior?
Oh man!
Oh, hopefully
so true.
Today, Junior.
It could not.
If I did that, I would be dragged out by Miss. Miss Vaughn.
Miss Vaughn.
Miss Vaughn would drag me out of the classroom.
By your ear.
Today, Junior. I don't know. Was that offensive? I don't know if that was an offensive sound clip, but it's a funny movie.
It is very funny.
No.
So that was the latest.
That was your
installment.
Thing.
Yes.
I've had my own public church mishap, but I'll lead with my most recent thing that wasn't here. I work out at a place called Orange Theory Fitness, and everything's class based. Shout out OTF Albany, and it's all class based. And so there's a section called the floor, which is where you work out with the weights, and you have the pre-planned exercises that everyone's supposed to do. And the coach, they call the trainers coaches. He goes through what we're supposed to do, and he's like, "Do this exercise, and then in between each of these 4, we're going to do the same exact one over and over again." So bicep curls, then we're going to do, it's called the speed squat. Just is what it is. You squat fast, up and down, no weight. Then do another exercise, speed squat. He went through all that in plain English, and then he said, then we'll cycle around and we'll start at the top, but now in between, then we'll do what's called speed skater lunges. So you picture what a speed skater looks like. You're jumping back and forth.
Gotcha.
So we get through the bicep curls, I speed squat, then I think we go to shoulder presses, and I turn my body. I always work out next to the wall, and I don't speed squat. I just go on to speed skater lunges, and I have no idea that that's wrong until I turn around, and the girl next to me is like, walks me over to the screen like I'm an idiot.
Oh my goodness.
She had the best intentions. This is just how I felt.
Yeah.
Walks me over. No, you're supposed to do this every time, and then when we get to the back, then you do that. And then like the coach starts walking over, and he just says, "Yeah, just watch everybody else." So I'm like, first of all, the biggest guy in the room pretty much at all times, in the corner, going hard on these speed skater lunges, and probably everyone in the class is looking at me going, this guy's an idiot.
Wait. So when they told you and they brought you over to the screen,
I work out right next to it.
No, okay. So they were showing you the screen. The workout was still going on when this happened.
Yeah, we were in a rest before we started the next exercise.
Okay.
The sad part is the screen also has the instructions that the guy said, and I'm speed skater lunging right in front of it. I just dumb.
Yeah,
dumb. I just felt dumb. Because there was no, like, if I was on a microphone, I'd be like, oh, I'm an idiot. This is what happened.
Yeah.
In class, I don't explain it to anyone. The person next to me knows. The coach just knows I got it wrong, but nobody knows that I'm just like, oh, I'm dumb. Brain fart. So then, like, the rest of the class, I just felt like a doofus.
Yeah.
a big doofus.
We've all done it.
But granted, it's
Not
like
at Orange Theater
6
necessarily, but
it's like 6:15 in the morning. My brain's not functioning.
right.
Though I do all my Wordles pre-class.
Yeah, thanks.
Do it early.
Wordle.
So that happened, but then another King's Chapel one that I had
Yes.
happened in the middle of a song. I was supposed to dismiss the children for our church's children's church time, and I didn't, and I remembered it in the middle of a verse, and and this is how it played out. You'll hear a little singing. It's all right. I probably could have chopped this up a little bit more.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. For I once was lost.
This is just to show off my singing ability. Here we go.
So you're invested. Kids are dismissed.
Oh, you missed it.
Do it
You
again. Do it
missed
again.
You
Sorry.
missed
Sorry.
it.
Blind and now I see kids are dismissed. Just start that again. There's no recovery from that.
There's no. You were heavily invested in the song at that point.
Yeah, I'm.
Amazing grace. Every song that says grace, I screw up, so that's a great.
So you need some grace.
But yeah, it's just so.
We're blind and now I see kids are dismissed.
If I had sang the right part of the song, I could have gotten away with it. I jumped to the wrong part of the song.
That was.
It was dumb.
It was dumb. You made a mistake. You made a foible.
I did.
You know what?
I foibled.
You know one thing that happened though for both of us is we recovered and we moved on from it.
And everybody laughs,
Yeah.
and nobody
It's
cares.
temporary.
We're
And
not
then it moves
at a
on.
stuffy church where they're like, "Oh, the immaturity of these pastors."
But see, this is the kind
Not
of
getting
thing
it
that
right.
people agonize over. People who don't like public speaking or doing anything public facing is that there's this fear. I mean, they say that this is the fear that is even greater than the fear of death, is that people have a fear of public speaking.
Oh, you're getting into Seinfeld territory here.
Yeah. And I didn't even mean that. They always seem to find a Seinfeld.
Well, he has a
connection. I
whole
didn't even
bit
think of
about it.
that. Yeah. It's true though.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
I
going to
remember
launch
that
in a Seinfeld impression, but my Snoop Dogg was so bad that I don't even want to try to do Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld. No, I can't do it now. I can't do it. I'm thinking.
What are you doing, Tricky?
Yeah,
I can't even do it either.
What are you doing? This is stupid. Yeah.
But anyway, there's some people I know that
Yeah.
that still are that way too. They'll say, "Oh, I could never do anything like that, like public speaking." I just like, well, you know, you're gonna probably make a mistake. I remember the first time I did announcements because I was still an intern at the time, and the worst thing you can do, especially when it's your first time and you're just trying to get through it, is try to ad lib. That's an advanced move that you make when you do an ad libbing. I mean,
The
you
ad
can do
lib?
that eventually, but don't try doing it, especially your first time. I thought, oh, this will be easy. I kind of memorized the announcements, so for the most part, and it got to the point where it was the end of the summer. We're moving back into the fall, and kids were going back to children's church. They had a break over the summer, and I started saying something to the effect of like, "Hey, yes, welcome back, everybody. We're gonna start children's church again. Kids are back at school," and it was literally like that. And there was a pause, and I was like, "What do I do?"
And that was the ad lib.
And that was the ad
Just
lib.
the little kids are back at
Yeah,
school.
the kids are back at school, and so then I went back to my notes and just started reading word for word. I didn't know what else to do. It was terrible. It was the worst I've ever.
I hate those
ever done,
moments.
I think.
I've had so many bad singing, or it's really when I go to speak and not sing that I screw it up. I screwed up when I am singing. One of times I was leading during college, I was at a church and we were doing a Casting Crowns song. Let me pull up the lyrics real quick so you can understand why this happened.
I think I remember hearing this one.
It's called Who Am I? Trying to type with one hand here. So it's a chorus that goes back and forth between the personal pronoun and then the second whatever, me, I, like I, you,
Yeah, first person and
So
second person.
not because of who I am, but because of what you've done, not because of what I've done, but because of who you are. I did the old switcheroo and went
all heretical.
two Yeah, dove feet first into heresy. Not because of who I or who. Oh, yeah, not because of who you are, but because of what I've done or something. I said, yeah, it was bad. It was in front of everyone.
Man.
It was like the song after the sermon that's supposed to land the plane.
And you just kept going though. Did you know it happened once you did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
Yeah.
kept moving forward.
That's so
Nothing more to
bad.
do.
That's so bad. And I was like into it, and it was lousy.
Yeah.
That was in front of everyone. There was one time I ended a song and said amen, but like in a question, like amen.
Amen.
And for some reason, probably nobody really cared, but I was like, why did I do that? This was in college. This is for one of our college chapels, so hundreds of students. Amen.
Amen.
Just start playing the next one.
The
That was dumb.
Guy
That was
doesn't know
dumb.
if we're done praying or something, or yeah. You know, this is typically where you wrap up the prayer.
It's
Not a question.
so bad.
Yeah. No.
So bad.
But,
Somehow
you
I've
move on
Had
and
this job for 10 years.
Yeah. No, I mean earlier on I would beat myself up, up over it all, and I would I'm never doing announcements ever again, and then you just kind of learn to accept it and say you gotta laugh at yourself and move on and say this doesn't define me.
Right. Right. This is not who I am.
Right. Exactly. So, but yeah, public foibles. I'm sure maybe some of you guys out there have some foibles that you would be willing to. I mean, we're putting ourselves out here.
Yeah.
So
we're being
this is not easy.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
We're being authentic.
Yeah.
That's the buzzword,
Authentic,
right?
yeah.
Got to be
Authentic.
authentic. We're being real.
Being real. Being
We're
real.
being real.
Being real with you guys right
We
now.
just need people to be more real.
Yeah, I feel like you guys need to step up and let us know too how you've made some foibles and mistakes in the past.
Where have
we
you
can laugh
just been dumb publicly? That's the question.
Yeah.
And not like real dumb, but where you've come across and said, that was horrible.
Take luck.
Take
luck. You too. You too.
Exactly.
You too.
Where have you Brian Regan? Oh, that's the story. This is a co-foible we had.
Oh yes.
We were
this
at
terrible.
a workshop for preaching,
Yeah.
and there was a guy in our group whose name was Brian.
Yes.
Now, we happen to love listening to Brian Regan. At one point I didn't, but now I do.
He's hilarious.
He is funny. For some reason, I used to think he wasn't. But he has this bit in one of his earlier albums from like the early 2000s where he's not good at spelling or
Right.
whatever with the words.
Talking about how he was terrible in school and he couldn't get things right, and his teacher would just give up and say, "Are you an idiot, Brian?
Are you an idiot, Brian?
Are you an idiot?" You know what I mean?
So for us, that has just been a thing we say.
Yeah.
Like if we say something ridiculous or we just go, "You an idiot, Brian?" Neither of us are named Brian.
Right.
So we're at this workshop. We were in a small group. We had this guy in our group named Brian. He shares something deeply personal.
Yeah.
And I don't know why anyway, he shared something deeply personal.
Yeah.
We're outside of that group. We're somewhere else.
The session had ended. We're
Right.
we're still in the same place in the same building, the church that was hosting it, but we were somewhere else doing something, talking to
each other, but both of us are in that same group with Brian.
Yeah.
One of us said something dumb to which I don't even remember which one of us said it, but then we say out loud, "Are you an idiot, Brian?"
An idiot, Brian.
Not like 4 feet away from us is Brian. Who doesn't say anything, but for all he knows, we're talking about this personal thing he shared, and we go, "Are you an idiot, Brian?"
Oh no, it was terrible. We both
Oh,
felt so bad about it.
feel so bad. There's no resolution to this one.
Yes, like we said, we could say, hey, we went over to Brian and said, hey, we were just talking about something else. I don't know if you ever heard us. We weren't talking about you. We just both of us noticed it happen. And we just went, oh no, and we moved on and we didn't say anything, and we just.
I guess we call this
to this day.
a private foible.
Yeah.
Actually, we doubled down and made it 10 times worse. I'll tell this story. It's fine.
No, yes.
So 2 years later, we're going to a conference, and we're in the Baltimore airport, and we're talking to another guy who is at this same workshop.
Right.
And we see sitting over in the seats, Brian. And I still just retreat back into my soul and go, I'm not going over to Brian. He thinks I said, are you an idiot, Brian?
Yeah. Does he recognize us? Does he not recognize
So
us?
we don't talk to Brian in the airport. But Brian's also flying back to Albany and sits in the row across from us on the airplane, of which I still don't say hi to Brian. Because in my head, Brian hates my guts for saying, are you an idiot, Brian? And we weren't even talking about Brian. No, I'm going to the Jerry Seinfeld voice. Why did I say that?
Oh, it was. You can't write this. It's terrible.
It gives me Larry David feelings. Like if you've ever watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, like there's some scenes you just can't watch because it's too awkward. That's the feeling I get with it.
Yeah.
And it's all probably manufactured in my head.
Oh, it is. And there's no way of us knowing whether or not he even recognized us at the airport either.
I think he did, and
You
he
think
said,
so?
"Forget those guys."
Yeah, it's in your head.
It's
Who
in my
knows?
head.
Exactly.
I could have went up and him and went, "Hey, Brian, good to see you." Hey, good to see you too. Wow, that was a great workshop we were at together. It certainly was. I could have went that route, but my mind never thinks anything's going to go that direction. My mind always goes like, I'd be like, "Hey, Brian," he'd be like, "Oh, get out of here. I'm not an idiot.
Right.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Yes,
for all these
yes,
years.
Yes, Brian, I am.
Yeah,
Sorry.
But even that would almost be better because then you feel like, okay, there's almost some kind of conclusion or atonement.
Yeah.
For it all,
Like
payback.
right.
Like, okay,
he
I
knows.
deserved it.
He's voiced it. It's done.
We can both move on.
But instead, for the rest of my life, if I see Brian
Yeah.
go in the opposite direction,
Right.
like when you run into that high school person that you haven't seen in 15 years, you're at the grocery store, you see him 3 aisles over, you're like, I'm going to take an extra long time in this aisle so that I don't have a stop and chat a couple aisles over. That's the rest of my life with Brian.
Do that? You do that?
Well, I mean,
Of
I
course.
don't want to come across as a monster, but yes. Yes, I do.
I think we've all done that. I've done the same thing. Yeah. People you just
stop
I'm just
and
not
chat.
gonna avoid. I'm just gonna avoid. I'm not gonna get involved.
Like, yes, I need pet food. I'm just going to hang and look at the pet food. I don't have any pets. Not even a goldfish.
What's all that pet food for? Fiber.
Right?
Yeah. Gotta get fiber somewhere.
Right? Yeah.
It's Ventura.
I've had Alpo, and it doesn't taste that bad.
That's gross.
It is a little gross, but it's not as bad as you would think.
No, not as bad as a public foible.
Correct. So, but like
Yeah.
Chris was saying, if you want to share something funny that you have done, let us know.
Yeah, we love to hear it and laugh along with you. Not at you.
With
you.
But if you just want to laugh at us and comment on our situations, that's also fine.
Yeah,
Because we know you'll do it whether you have our permission or not.
that's true.
But this was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun. A little different. We're not ranking candies
Candy
or
foods
cookies, which that people get very defensive over the lists,
I guess so.
which I like.
Yeah.
So we got to come up with another list.
Keeps you guys engaged. So.
But we are very happy that you guys tuned in to listen last time. We hope you were able to check out this episode. We did have a mini. Let me turn this down a little bit. We had a little mini episode in between.
Hope you
the
guys checked
Chewies
it out
today.
Yeah. The Shenanigan Shake.
Shenanigan Shake put out by Stewart Shops. It's not a milkshake, but it's not just milk. It's
Right.
like mint eggnog, that kind of texture.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
very good. It was very
it
good.
out.
So check that out. And if you go to
Mickey D's, get a Shamrock Shake.
Yeah, why
I had
not?
one the other day. I gave one to my daughter for the first time. She liked it. So
Tis the season. What is
That's
it? Is when's tomorrow's
Thursday.
Thursday's St. Patty's Day.
Patties. I can't do that. I didn't even get a try.
Hey, it's the luck of the Irish. No, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Blood pressure
Not too
was
shabby.
terrible. Why do you even laugh?
Why are you still going?
All right. We'll catch you guys next time on
The Lunch Break Podcast.